नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. So we have seen 10 skandhas, cantos, Adhikari, Sadhana, Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, Udayaha, Manvantaraha, Ishanukatha, Ashrayaha, Mukti. So 11th canto, the topic is Mukti. There are different ideas about Mukti. Some says Mukti after death, Salokya Mukti, or another is called Salokya Mukti, then Samipya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti. That is, Salokya Mukti is become citizens of Vaikuntha. Salokya. You get, you don't have to pay $1 million. You get citizenship there. Then Samipya, you go closer to Bhagavan. Samipya like Jaya Vijaya. Then Sarupya, same uniform like Bhagavan, Shankha Chakra Gadadhari, except Lakshmi. So how do you know Bhagavan? You through Lakshmi ji. Lakshmi is whose help you recognize the Lord. Then there is another called Sarshti, Lordship of creativity except this world. Now these are different schools of thought. They have this different idea of Mukti. But what Vedanta ultimately says is, Mukti that is talked about, the definition is, it is not going to another world, assuming different form. Mukti is right here, renouncing our false identity by knowledge and abiding in our true self is called Mukti. This is called Jivan Mukti or Sadhyo Mukti. It is something like a great actor, having acted as a beggar, continue to beg even after the role is over. Then it has to be corrected by knowledge alone. Once he realizes his real status, that is called Mukti for him. Even though my nature is infinite, I consider myself to be limited. That is called bondage. Vedanta says, you are that Paramatma and realize this, and that is called real Mukti. This is the topic of 11th canto. Now Lord Krishna sat one day and thought of how the burden of earth is removed with the help of Yadavas, how Jarasandha and others were killed, and with the medium of Pandavas, how Duryodhanas were killed. And now, my own people, Yadavas, are becoming very strong, and in future they also become arrogant and evil. At that time, I cannot come back again, taking another avatara. So he thought that let us finish them also now itself before I leave. One day, Sri Krishna's children, they were playing. That day, one group of rishis, they were coming to visit Krishna. These children, they thought of having fun with these rishis. So they dressed up Jambavati's son, Samba, who was looking like feminist. So she dressed up him and made it look like she is expecting a baby. When the rishis came, they showed false humility and requested to bless her and wished to know what child she will deliver, whether it is a girl or a boy. When the rishis saw, they got so angry. They said, neither boy nor girl, but Mushalam. Mushalam means a pestle. Pounding rice, you use pestle. That one. That is what is going to. Iron pestle will be delivered, and that will be your destruction of Yaduvamsha. Now, when they heard the curse, they got terrified. And these boys were intoxicated, and they made fun of these rishis. Now, when they removed the sari, they saw one iron pestle. They did not report it to Bhagavan Krishna. They made this iron pestle into powder and thrown into the ocean. And there was this last small portion also that was also thrown in the sea. One fisherman caught a fish. In the stomach of a fish, this iron piece was found. He thought that it is good for his arrow and fixed it at the tip of his arrow. The hunter brought that arrow home. Narada Muni was a great devotee of Lord. He used to visit Dwarka in one pretext or another. One day, Vasudeva saw Narada and requested Narada to come to his house. After worshipping him properly, he said, in our previous lives we did penance, and as a result, Lord himself appeared. Actually, we wanted liberation, but we asked him to be our son. We know he is the Lord, but whenever we ask him about moksha, he avoids. Now you please enlighten us. If we depart from this world without spiritual enlightenment, our life is not complete. Narada was very happy because he has an opportunity to stay longer in Dwarka. In the 5th canto, we saw the story of Rishabha Dev. He had 9 sons. They become Nava-yogis. Here is a story of 9 yogis and Janaka Maharaj, he was also called Nimi. This conversation take place. The 9 yogis' names were Kavi, Hari, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pippalayana, Avirhotra, Dhrumila, Chamasa, and Karabhajana. They had such powers, they can appear anywhere and disappear anywhere at will. Avirbhava, Tirobhava Shakti was there in them. One day Raja Nimi, otherwise called Janaka. This Janaka is the title of a chair, like Shankaracharya, So here, this Nimi, in his assembly, this yogis appeared. Raja was overjoyed. One yogi come to your house, it is a blessing. Now 9 of them have come. King said, I consider that you are the attendant of Lord Vishnu, roaming about in this world to bless the humanity. Human life is very rare, and rarer is to have darshan of a devotee of Lord. Therefore, I want to know what is absolute good for all of us. Even if we get satsang 1 second, it is the greatest gain. What is Bhagavata Dharma? Please tell us if we deserve to be listened to. If you think we can understand, please tell us. We heard Lord is pleased by such sadhana and himself gave to the devotees. Now the first question is answered by Kavi. He said the worship of the feet of Arjuda, the immortal being, is the only way to attain the state that is free from fear and suffering. Now I will tell you, Bhagavata Dharma means the easy way to reach that Lord. So he gives the famous verse, all of you know, Kayena vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmanava asadasvabhavad karodi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. Whatever he does with his body, senses, mind, he offered to the Lord. This is the essence of Bhagavata Dharma. There was a lady in Maharashtra, Janabai. She used to, whatever she does, she used to say Krishna Arpanamastu. One day she was doing this cow dung, cake. And after making that cow dung cake, she said Krishna Arpanamastu. After plastering the veranda, Krishna Arpanamastu. Now this offering, she did, it used to come to Bhagavan, Vitthal Bhagavan. And what happened was, this pujari who gave a bath to Bhagavan and dressed him up very nicely and admiring, giving arati. At that time, this lady said, Krishna Arpanamastu. The whole cow dung used to come and plaster on Bhagavan. Bhagavan was very happy. Then he sent Vimanam, celestial aerial car, sent to her to bring her to Vaikuntha. What she did, that also she said Krishna Arpanamastu. The Vimanam also went to Bhagavan. So this is the greatness of bhaktas. Our karmas and karma phalas to the Lord, then you are one with the Lord. People have this general fear. Fear comes with the second entity. When the sense of alienation that he is a threat to me, then there is a fear. Once in a two-storied house, this couple was sleeping. She heard some noise downstairs. She said to her husband, "Hey, get up." He asked, "Why?" "I hear some noise." He said, "No need." So why not? There are two reasons. There may be no one, then it is a waste. She said, "Suppose there is someone there." That is the second reason, he said. But she was very insistent. "You are a coward. I don't know why I got married to you," and all that. His male ego was hit. So he got up and slowly, cautiously went with a baseball bat in his hand. Then slowly he went down, and to his surprise what he saw, he was his own teenager son sitting there relaxing. Now when he saw his son, will there be fear? Even though you see him other than yourself, it does not invoke fear. Fear comes only when that this person is different from me. Such thought comes, fear comes. But once you realize there is only one Paramatma, then there is no fear. De duidati bhayam bhavati. Thereafter he sings the glory of Lord, and that devotee sings and dances. Then what happens to the devotee is told with an example. He says, it's a very beautiful example. When a person eats food, there are three things that food does to him. One is called tushti, another is pushti, third one is chut apayaha, chut nivritti. His hunger has gone away, makes him healthy, and there is a mental satisfaction. All the three at one time. Same way, he says, bhakti also does. What is that? Number one is knowledge of the Lord, dispassion. Bhakti grows more and more. This is the result of Bhagavata Dharma. The first question was answered. Now Raja said, please tell me the nature of that bhakta who follow Bhagavata Dharma. Hari gives this answer. Three types of bhaktas are there. Uttama, Madhyama, Samanya Bhakta. Number one, he who sees oneness with all being and himself in all and know that he is Paramatma is the Uttama Bhakta. That's why Bhagavan said Lakshana Bhakta Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunayevacha Dharmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukhaha Sukhaha Kshami. The one who sees oneness of all, love for all, is Uttama Bhakta. Madhyama Bhakta, he sees difference. He is a devotee of Lord, so he is not a devotee of Lord, he is a devotee of Lord. The devotee of Lord is dear to me, the other one is not dear to me. This Bheda he sees, that is called Madhyama Bhakta. Then Samanya Bhakta is ignorant people, ignorant, helpless people who sees God only in the idol, but no consideration to the Lord's devotees and other fellow beings. They are called Samanya Bhakta. Here this Hari did not say he is Athama Bhakta, he made it a Samanya Bhakta. Now third question, what is Maya? Now Antariksha answers this question. Maya is inexplicable. This is a power of the Lord. It constitutes of three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. From the sattva guna, all sense organs, mind, intellect, and knowledge aspect is born. From rajoguna, karmendriyas, pranas, and all the activities are born. From tamoguna, the gross world has come into existence. Power of Maya is, like Tulsidaji says, Udbhavastiti Samhara Karini, Kleshaharini, Sarvasreyaskarim Devim, Natoham Ramavallabham. It cannot be directly seen. Its effects are seen, but Devi Hyesha Gudamayi Mama Maya Duratya. But this Maya is totally dependent upon the Lord. Ignorance people creates the division, I and mine, and then they suffer. This is the effect of Maya. Now fourth question, how to cross over Maya? Naturally, Prarabdha, Prabuddha answers. All people are working for happiness day and night, but they never find it. This is not the way to overcome Maya. You must approach a guru who is well versed in Shastra and established in Brahman. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Bondage is our ignorance of our own self. Learn from a guru properly. One should learn this Bhagavata Dharma and follow it. It will overcome Maya. When you are devoted to your guru, all mastery of mind comes to you. Guru Charanambuja. Our Bhajagovindam says, Nirbhara Bhakta. So he will, all those things come to him, Vairagyam, etc. will come to him automatically. Then he says, I shall tell you how to cross over Maya. He said, write a letter to the Lord. How? Bhagavan, please take care of me. I may forget you, but you don't forget me. Instructed by the teacher in this Bhagavata Dharma and aided by devotion generated by its practice, a devotee of Narayana goes across the divine Maya, so difficult for others to cross. The fifth question, who is this Narayana, the divine person? I have been listening to this word Narayana so much, but I don't know what is this. Raja asked. Pippalayana replied, that which is the very cause of the entire creation by itself is causeless. It is present in waking, dream, deep sleep state, but beyond all the three, enlivens all our senses. Satchidananda Swarupa Atma. Narayana literally means Naranam Samuhaha, Naraha. Totality of all jivas, Tasya Ayanam. The goal of all living being, or the very self of all being. That is what we have to realize in our life. When one is devoted to Narayana, he will go beyond Maya. Now the sixth question, what is Karma Yoga, following which one is refined and purified and attain the supreme state of perfection? Avirhotra said, here it is answered differently. Raja said, I had asked this question in my childhood to some learned people, but they did not answer me. Here three words are used, karma, akarma, vikarma. You must have seen that in fourth chapter also. Karmani akarmaya pashyed. These are technical words. Karma means obligatory duties. Any action is not called karma. Vikarma means prohibited action is called vikarma. Akarma means non-performance of his karma or his duty. Therefore, he must do kartavya karma. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmachayokya karmanaha. So Bhagavan said in Gita. So niyatam karma is one's own given kartavya duty. So as a grihastha, kartavya duty is called Panchamaha Yajnas. Every day you should do some puja or Agni worship, offering ghee, etc. Worship sun god, namaskar, arkyam, Atithi puja also you should do. Worship God in your heart. You should live in harmony with the five elements. Then the seventh question, please tell us what are all the avatara of Bhagavan, what did he do and will do later. Drumila said, my dear Raja, the one who wants to count all Lord's Leela and his glory, it is childish. How many dust particles are there on the earth? You may be able to count that, but even then, Lord's glory will never get exhausted. Some he enumerated as before Narayana was doing tapas. Indra got worried and Kandarpa, that is Kamadev, came to disturb Narayana. Narayana opened his eyes and produced a beautiful apsaras. They were so beautiful compared to what Indra sent. Then they stopped dancing at that time. To Kamadeva, he gave a gift. Narayana gave the gift. So it was produced from his thigh. Because he was sitting there for a long time, a lot of dust was there, collected. Out of that dust, he created this called Urvashi. So the Urvashi was given to Indra. And all those Kamdevan party, they felt so embarrassed, they went back to heaven. Even now they do tapas in Badrika Ashram, it is said, for the welfare of the world. Eighth question, those people who do not do any sadhana, what will be their fate? Like us. Chamasa answers, they are called suicidals. They will never find peace. They go from birth to death and death to birth. Punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam. Therefore, we should worship God. Last question. There are 4 yugas. Please tell in which way Bhagavan is worshipped in each yuga. Karabachana gave answer. In Satya Yuga, the complexion is fair. In Treta Yuga, the complexion of God is reddish. Dwapara Yuga, bluish color. Kali Yuga, black color. What are the ways of worship? In Satya Yuga, tapas. Treta Yuga, rituals, yajna. That's why Bhagavan Ramchandraji, yajna rakshaka. Dwapara Yuga, pujas, worship of Lord was introduced in Dwapara Yuga. It is said that Bhagavan used to travel from Dwarka to Hastinapura. On the way, people used to worship him. And, when they worship, they pour what? Ghee, buttermilk, milk, honey, all those things. And, it was very difficult to wash it. Sometimes you put honey, that also ghee. It will not go. I have seen this when I used to travel with Gurudev. They will, in the winter time they get hot water and pour on his head. And when they know that Gurudev is coming, they have to garland him. And the garland was kept for freshness in the refrigerator. And then 5 minutes before they take it out and put it on him. It is shivering cold. Bhagavan used to suffer for the devotee's sake. And then, his legs, the fingers, in between the fingers there was fungus growing. That is why Gurudev said, now you do puja to my paduka, not for my pada. Same way Bhagavan Krishna also said, you do puja to my idol. Not me directly. That's why Murti Puja came later. That is how Dwapara Yuga it started. In Kali Yuga, none of this possible. Therefore, Nama Sankirtan. In Kali Yuga, by chanting Lord's name, one gets moksha. Raja was extremely happy and worshipped those yogis, and as people were looking on, they disappeared. Listening to Navayogi Prasanga, this is a conversation between whom? Narada and Vasudeva. Don't forget that. Vasudeva and Devaki were pleased and they got enlightened, dispelling their ignorance of themselves, and they attained mukti. After this, Brahmaji came with all celestials to Dwarka. At that time, Lord Krishna's age was 125 years old, but he was still looking young. Bhagavan, it was very nice of you to come and did our work. Now you are free to go. Go back to Vaikuntha. Brahmaji said, Bhagavan said, I have to do some more work and then I will go. Bhagavan decided that Yadus also should be destroyed, even though he was capable of nullifying the curse of the rishis. He did not do so. He himself got prepared to depart. Now Uddhava saw the mood of the Lord and asked what is going to happen. Bhagavan said, our kulam is cursed and we should not live here. Go to Prabhasa and perform some rituals to save ourselves. Uddhava said, even though you are capable of nullifying the effect of the Rishi's curse, you did not do so, means you are making ready to quit. Without you, I can't live a moment. Therefore, you take me also with you. Bhagavan smiled and said, I cannot take you. Uddhava said, I will ride with you upon, pinion seat on Garuda. Bhagavan said, my abode, even Garuda has no entry there. It is beyond all. It is not a world. It is my own Sarupa. Then Uddhava said, then give me that knowledge. Here is the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Uddhava. This is called the famous Uddhava Gita. Bhagavan said, I am leaving. This Dwaraka will go under. You go to Badrika Ashram and live there. Before going, Uddhava said, before going, give me some knowledge. Now in the beginning, Bhagavan gives it very briefly. Then Uddhava asked for more details. The idea was he wanted to delay Bhagavan's departure. Sri Krishna said, Uddhava, you please understand, whatever you see through your eyes, hear through your ears, whatever you describe with your words, this entire Drishya Jagat is Maya Mayam. It is only an appearance. When the mind is fluttering, you have the experience of the world. When the mind is still, then there is no world for you. The varieties are seen by the disturbed mind. Therefore, withdraw your mind from the world and direct that mind towards your own Atma. The Atma is to be seen as myself. Then you will have Atma Anubhuti. Then you will never be shaken. Yajñātva na punarmoham evam yasyasi Pandava. Wise man, like a child by nature, give up desire for pleasure in this world. He experiences the truth and no question of coming back to this world of samsara. Listening to this, Uddhava said, it is too short and deep. Before the Lord departs, let us get some knowledge for the future generation of people. That was his thinking. So Uddhava said, Bhagavan, those people who have purified their mind, it is easy to grasp the meaning. But those who are not prepared, their mind, how to prepare them? Now Bhagavan answers, in Gita it is said, you are your best friend. Uddhared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadayed atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. But here Bhagavan adds, you are your own guru. If you are ready to learn, then you can learn from anyone. No one can teach others, but someone can learn from you. I will tell you a story, Bhagavan said. There was a Yadu Raja. We are his descendants. That is why we are called Yadus. The Raja Yadu one day just going around and saw one Brahmana sitting under a tree, very happy. Yaduraja approached and asked, from where did you get such innocence and happiness? People have everything, but they are not happy. You are so cool. Please tell me. Then, Rajan, you asked me a good question. All these gurus are centered in my intellect. When he observed something, he learned from them. He derived his own learning from these 24 gurus. And who are those 24 gurus? First one is earth. I learned endurance, kshama, from earth. I have learned this, but you can see some other quality in earth and adopts that also. The second one was Vayu. Asaktaha Vayuvat Chared. How it blows everywhere and purifies, but get attached to nothing. Third one is space, so subtle to give accommodation, but remain pure, never get contaminated. Water, cool, quenching the thirst of others. One should be cooling and give consolation to people. Fifth one is Agni, fire goes up, it swallows everything, never get affected. One who is bright, brilliant, going higher and higher, none can touch. Be like a fire. Moon appears to be waxing and waning, but actually it is free from both. Similarly, we think we are old and dying, but actually Atma is not growing or dying. It's only the body. You are not that body. Then Ravi, sun, he illumines the whole world, but free from all impurities. And eighth one is Kapota. Kapota means dove, Kaputar. The story here is Mr. and Mrs. Dove, they had babies. When the parents went away, a hunter came and spread the net. Little ones did not know, they fell into the net. Mother, father came back and saw children are in the net, facing death. Mother felt, without my children, what is my life? She herself jumped into the net. Then looking at children, wife, both are gone. What is the use? My life. He also jumped into it. So all the whole family died. So what I learned from this, so much of attachment made them all die. So one should not have too much attachment. Then ninth one is Ajagara, python. Vayu Vaksham. He live on Vayu. Some creatures come its way, then he eats. Otherwise, must sitting. It is okay for a sannyasi. Contentment is the lesson he learned. Whatever result you get, you should have that contentment. Sindhu, ocean, vast and deep. It receives everything but never get houseful. Deep and full. So this is not dependent. Patanka, moth, get attracted to fire and get burned and death. Don't have rupa sakti. Don't get attracted to the look. If you get attracted to the look, you get trapped like Patanka. Mathukrit, honey maker. Wherever there is something good, you should take it. Words of wisdom, whoever say, accept it. Even a baby. Then elephant, Gajaha, attached to touch. Using that, the hunters catch them. Madhuhaha, honey collector. Collect the honey. Those who hoard someone else, those who hoard wealth, someone else will take. Therefore, share with others. That is the teaching there. Harina, deer. Don't listen to vulgar kind of music and you will get trapped. Meena, fish. Attachment to taste, swad. You get trapped. Then there is a Pingala. Pingala is a prostitute. There was one prostitute who was waiting for a customer. No one came that day. She went to sleep. She could not sleep. Again she came out. Then she could not find anybody. Again she went to sleep. And while sleeping she started thinking, what am I doing? I am selling my body to those people who have no moral. I am forgetting the Lord who is residing in me. She gave up that desire and slept very well. So give up false hope. I learned that vairagyam paramam sukham. How did she get such vairagya? This is due to the blessing of this Mahatma only. Then little bird, Kurura. This little bird got a piece of flesh and carrying it on its beak, flying. Other birds, eagles, hawks came and attacked her. Then when she gave up that piece of flesh, they left her in peace. If you leave what you hold on to, there is peace. Arbhakaha, small child, forget about his body and revel in toys and play. So too, one should live spontaneously. Kumari, a virgin girl. Some people came to see her for matchmaking. She was alone at home, and suddenly these people too came, and she has to feed them. She went to the kitchen and there was no rice, so she has to pound the rice, pound the paddy. And while pounding, her bangles were making noise. She did not want her guests to know this. She removed all the bangle except she kept one and started pounding. There was no noise. Avadhut learned in Advaita there is peace. Dvaitadhi bhayam bhavati. In Dvaita there is noise. Then Sharakrit, arrow maker, he was so concentrated. A procession went by, he did not know. I learned that concentration from him. Sarpa, snake, which never make any home. This snake lives always in someone's house. This advice is good for sannyasis. No owning house. Urnanabhi, spider, create and dissolve the web like the Lord. We create mess, but we do not know how to solve it. Then silkworm, get caught up in its own cocoon, not to get caught up in your own mental web. Then my body also I learned lesson, vairagyam, looking at it. when it becomes so dirty. Having heard all this, Yaduraja got enlightened. All these lessons to prepare our mind to understand the first teacher, for the first teaching of Krishna. Next chapter, definition of sadhu, bhakta, satsang, mahima. There is Bhagavan Dava asked this question. Bhagavan, you say withdraw the mind from objects. My mind has gone and become the object. It is difficult to separate. You can't separate because it has become the object. This question was raised by Sanak Kumaras to Brahmaji. And Bhagavan answers in this way. This question was raised by Sanat Kumara to Brahmaji. And Brahmaji could not answer because his mind was preoccupied. But then they saw a swan just walked into their presence. Sanat Kumara asked, "Who are you?" This swan said, "What a foolish question you are asking. From which standpoint you are asking, who are you? Body or consciousness?" Narayana Bhagavan came in the form of swan, Hamsa. It's called Hamsa Gita. The answer is, your problem appears to be genuine. But if you keep on analyzing how to detach your mind from senses and senses from mind, you will never find a solution. Why? Because first you are giving reality to the mind and the senses and the sense objects. There is no such duality exist, and both of them are expression of something that is higher. Try to understand what is that above mind and objects. It is trying to analyze in dream to find out the dream world. Please wake up to your real nature. Once you know you have a higher nature, then the lower will not give you trouble. This is the essence of Hamsa Gita. Thereafter, glory of devotion, dhyana, meditation is also pointed out. Then supernatural powers, siddhis, like walking on water, like that is given. Some Mahatma came and told me, "Swamiji, I have attained this siddhi." What is that? I can walk on water. I also told him, I also have that siddhi. Yeah. I brought one bucket of water and put it on the ground and I walked. There was a householder and his friend, a yogi. Yogi was boasting, "I can do this and that and all that." Household got so annoyed and asked, "Sitting here, can you get a glass of water?" Yogi said, "No, I can't do. I can do that." He said, "Ramu." He got a glass. "Papa." According to yoga, all siddhis are possible. So prana is a kriya shakti. If someone concentrates on prana shakti, then you can get all siddhis. If you concentrate on jnana aspect, then they get self-knowledge. They may not have this kind of siddhi. Here Bhagavan lists 18 kinds of siddhis. Finally Bhagavan said, "I am the source of all siddhis. You worship me, then you have all the powers." Next, various vibhutis are described. This is equivalent to the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is for meditation purpose. Among all ashram, Bhagavan said, "I am sannyasa ashrama." Among devotees, "I am Uddhava." There he said, "Pandavanam Dhananjaya. When we studied the 7th chapter, we saw 3 types of vasanas, Manava Vasana and Asuri Vasana and Devi Vasana. And Devi Vasana, the story of Prahlada, Asuri Vasana, Hiranyakashipu. Then Manushi Vasana, the Manushya Dharma was given. At that time I said, I will talk to you about it in the 11th canto. I have not forgotten. So Dharma according to station in life. There are Samanya Dharma, common values to be followed by all. They call Samanya Dharma. Speaking truth, non-injury, non-stealing, etc. It is common to all, whether they are brahmachari, grihastha or vanaprastha or sannyasi. Vishesha dharmas are specific dharmas according to the status in life, station in life. Brahmachari has got certain duties, and grihastha has got vanaprastha and sannyasi. Then he talked about sannyasa dharma, total control of mind. Give peace to all. And sannyasa's main lakshana is vairagyam. Then vanaprastha, leave the house and spend maximum time in sadhana. That is vanaprastha ashram. Then grihastha ashrama is given maximum duties. Why? Because they have to sustain all the 3 other ashramas. Grihastha ashrama is the one supporting brahmachari, vanaprasthi and sannyasis. And they have to perform homas, Vedic study, shraddhas, festive feeding, annadanam, bodhayajna, etc. Pancha mahayajnas. Then brahmachari, control of senses, serving the teacher, study, etc. What is common to all is control over oneself, serving others. The aim is to purify oneself, to prepare to go higher. That is, ultimate goal is sannyasa. Sannyasa means moksha. It is not considered an ashrama. Generally you find jnana, karma, bhakti. These are the 3 paths. Those who are dispassionate, risen above all desires, for them, jnana marga is suitable for them. Prakriti Purusha Viveka. Those who are attached to things in this world, karma yoga is better for them. Those who are neither dispassionate nor too active, for them bhakti yoga is advised. Now Uddhava asked Bhagavan, you ask us to keep a balance, equanimity of mind, but when near and dear ones, when they talk hurting words, all our mental balance disappears. Until then we are okay. How to tolerate? Now Bhagavan tells a story. This is called Bhikshu Gita. There was a miserly Brahmana lived. Neither he or others can enjoy. That is called miserliness. Everybody was cursing him. Miserly story, there are so many stories are there, okay? Husband and wife both were miser. Generally the other way around sometime. But this case, both were miserly. Suddenly this wife developed this toothache, And the husband took her to a dentist. And dentist looked at him and said, $25 for anesthesia, $50 for pulling the teeth. When she heard $25 for anesthesia, she became unconscious. Then her husband said, now doctor, please pull her. You don't have to spend 25. That is called miser. Now this miserly person, Brahmana, everybody was cursing him. Then one day he lost everything and had to beg for food. People started abusing him, but that created great vairagya in him. And thereafterwards he became an enlightened person. Then he went to his own village, people spat on him, used abusing words. But he laughed and said to himself, this is a beautiful verse, Nayam jano me sukha dukkha heduhu na devadatma graha karma kala manapparam karanamamanante samsara chakram parivartayetyat. These men are not the cause of my enjoyment or suffering. It is neither any divinity, nor the self, nor any star, nor karma, nor time. The reason for my suffering is my mind alone is the sole cause for turning this wheel of samsara according to the views of great men. It is our mind gives importance to this or that and make us suffer. This is the essence of Bhikshu Gita. Now we are in the discussion of Uddhava Gita, the teaching the Lord gave it to Uddhavaji at the eve of his departure from the world. In this teaching, the main thrust is realizing your true self. Self-knowledge alone can free us from all our bondage. To get to that, we have to prepare our mind with noble virtues, and most important is to have devotion to the Lord. Devotion to Lord is not just for the purification of mind alone, but to attain Him. Therefore, the main message of Srimad Bhagavatam is Kenapi margena manakrishne nivedayed. We have seen various chapters of the Uddhava Gita. Now the 26th chapter, Bhagavan is giving this Aila Gita. Aila Gitam. We saw Bhikshu Gitam. That was song of endurance. Here this Aila Gitam speak about the futility of running after sensual pleasures. That the king Pururavas realizes the desire can never be satiated through indulgence. Najadukkamakkamanam upabhogena shamyate. One has to rise above that, only then one can find peace. This is the great message of Aila Gita. Now we are almost end of this teaching of the Lord. Very, very beautiful points are given here. Generally, we people get very much caught up in the pairs of opposites. When someone praises you, we get very much elated. When someone abuses you, you feel down, dejected. Therefore, we are told to have equanimity in all conditions. Now the Lord says something, don't indulge in praising someone too much or ridicule someone too much with reference to one's own action or character. Raja Prithu's story, he stopped people from praising him. Too much of praise and criticism, don't do that. Do you know why? Don't praise too much, because a time will come you may have to criticize that person. Then you will have to swallow your own words. Don't criticize also too much, because you may have to praise him some other time. We are very much interested in other people. We see only faults of people. We don't see their goodness. You look at the world from the standpoint of the spirit and see the oneness. I should not irritate someone. Anuddekakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayate swadhyaya abhyasanam cheya Vangmayam tapa uchyate. 17th chapter, Bhagavan has given that vak tapas. Thus, understanding through observation, reasoning, scriptures and one's own realization that everything having a beginning and end is false. One should cultivate absolute inner detachment. Bhagavan Sri Krishna concludes his teaching in line with what he started with. Understand that the fluttering of mind is the creation of this world. Slowly calm your mind, withdrawing the mind from its usual wandering in the sense object. Once the mind is settled, then it will discover that truth which is right behind the mind, enlivening the very mind itself. So, Uddhava, you have to get firmly established in it. Teacher have given this knowledge, but the student should understand. Otherwise, Guru Shishya says, to Guru, Shishya says, Sir, what did you teach? That is why all the Mahatmas are staying near Ganges. They will drop him in the Ganges. Uddhava was great student and intelligent. He was grateful and said, Lord, by your mere presence itself has dispelled my darkness of delusion in me, a refuge at thy feet. Like a person sitting near a fireplace, where is the question of cold and darkness and fear of cold? You have taken the trouble and time to impart this knowledge to thy servant. Which grateful servant will desert the service of so loving a master and seek any other shelter? My attachment towards the clans of Vrishnis, Antakas, etc. has now been cut asunder with the sword of knowledge. Bless me, thy refuge, so that I may have constant and unwavering attachment to thy sacred feet. Bhagavan said, my ashram is there in Badri, and go there and get established in that, and eventually you will reach me. Looking at Lord, he goes and come back again. It was too difficult for him to leave the Lord. He kept on going and coming back. Finally he said, please give me your sandals for keeping. Lord gave his paduka, and Uddhava took that on his head and went away from there. In order to rid devotees of the fear of death and old age, the great being Krishna, from whom the Veda originated, has herein gathered from the extensive garden of Vedic thoughts this concentrated honey of knowledge and realization of the Supreme. As he collected the Amrita from the ocean for being distributed among the Devas, so has he placed this teaching before all devotees for their benefit. I salute that Supreme Person Krishna, the greatest of all being. Saying this, Uddhava went to Badrikashram. Now comes the sad episode. Lord informed all devotees about the relatives, about the curse of the rishis, and to remedy that, he said, let us go to a tirthasthana, Prabhata Kshetra, and perform some yajna to neutralize the effect of the curse. They went there and they performed all those karmas, gave dhanam to brahmanas, etc. Then afterwards everything is over. Then they opened the bottle of wine and got drunk. And drunkard generally pick up quarrel and started fighting among themselves. Krishna and Balarama were there. In front of them, these children started fighting with mace, sword, etc. When the weapon finished, they used the grass. What are those grass? Those iron files, They came to the shore and became grass. And the grass was like an iron sword and killed them all. Balram and Sri Krishna stopped them. They attacked them also. See the height of detachment of Lord Krishna. Balram gave up his body and went back to his abode, Vaikuntha. Lord also thought that Balram has gone. He also decided to leave. Now the final scene. He sat there assuming his form with 4 arms and illumining all the surrounding with his luster like fire without smoke. There was one hunter, Jara, who had this last piece of the pestle fixed on his arrow. The curse was, this will be the end of Yaduvamsha, Bhagavan also belonging to that. He saw Lord's toe from a distance and thought it is the face of a deer and shot at him with this fateful arrowhead. Coming near his hunt, he saw the Lord and fully repenting for which he did, for what he did, he cried aloud for forgiveness. Jara said, "Oh Lord, please kill me for this aparadh." Bhagavan said, "Jara, don't worry. You have done what I wished for. You will go to my abode." This Jara was none other than Vali. See, even Bhagavan is not spared of karma phala. He also hid behind a tree, shot him, isn't it? Same thing happened to Bhagavan also. If Bhagavan is not spared, how are we? Then the Lord's royal charioteer came. He saw all the weapons of the Lord had disappeared. His name is Daruka. Bhagavan said, "Dwarka, quieten your mind, go back to Dwarka, take all women and children, inform them what happened. Inform Arjuna and take all of them to Indraprastha or Hastinapura." Dwarka went, and in the sky all the devatas appeared, and there was a traffic jam. They want to see how Bhagavan is going to withdraw his body. They were looking. Suddenly they saw him, and another moment he disappeared. Bhagavan could have kept his body, but the Lord Rama and Krishna never kept their body. No attachment to their body. All women committed sati along with their husbands. Vasudeva and Devaki also left the world. Bhagavan Leela, what it is meant for, we cannot infer. One thing, no attachment to body, object, relatives, etc. Bhagavan's vairagya is to be seen. His own relatives are wrong, no hesitation to punish. No action done wrong will not go unpunished. With the help of Yadus, he destroyed all evils, but they became arrogant, removed them also. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, one has to go beyond all levels. Only then you will realize the truth. This is another way of interpreting the episode. Leela can be interpreted in many ways. Last 28th verse. A man who recites and studies with devotion the account of the glorious prowess displayed by the Lord in his incarnation, and especially the description of the most charming activities of his childhood, as given here in this text or anywhere else, he will attain to the highest form of love for him, who is the goal of the Paramahamsas. With this, we conclude the 11th chapter. Now there is one more chapter there, which we shall see tomorrow. 12th canto is a conclusion. There are beautiful description about Kali Mahima, etc. Because what happened, originally we thought we'll conclude today, but then I found out that the Parayanam is very important. So along with Bhagavata Katha, there is side by side, there is a Parayanam also going on. The whole 18 chapters, 18,000 verses is chanted by a group of people, dedicated, very devoted people. And I was surprised that every day there were so many people. First I thought only that Mami will be chanting alone. But now we found that so many devotees came and chanted together. It is a very, very auspicious thing. So that is going to conclude only tomorrow morning. So I cannot conclude now. I have to conclude along with them. So therefore, I am forced to postpone it one more day. That is tomorrow morning. I need 1 more hour. Then we will be able to complete the 12th canto. And a conclusion, we will chant 1 chapter also. So that chapter is the summary of the whole teaching. That we will chant. With that we will conclude tomorrow. So, please come tomorrow also as you came all the 7 days. Only then the phalam of listening to Bhagavata Katha, you will get it. If you say you don't come, then you don't get the phalam. So please come. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kachchit dukkha bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.